So for today's episode, we are joined by DJ Petchy. How are you doing, sir?
Good, brother. I'm good, man. Good.
Nice to have you.
Nice to be here, man.
So I got my first question for you straight away is, how long have you been a DJ?
Boy. You know, when I really think about it, you know, when you have to go back 26 years, 27 years. 27 years.
26,
Yeah.
27 years.
27 years, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds mad, isn't it? 27 years, you know. Forget my age. Yeah, just forget my age.
It makes me want to ask you straight away, how old are you? You know what I mean? Straight away, because I feel like you look young already.
Yeah, 27 years, man. Yeah, 27 years.
Question is, do you consider yourself to be more than just a DJ?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're asking me that, from my point of view, yeah, I do.
What are the other things?
Well, boy, I'd like to say I'm a businessman. I don't know, I'm just great at bringing things together. I guess it makes me a good middleman, which is why I would say I'm an okay. You know when you don't want to talk too much?
Yeah.
I'd say businessman as well as DJ.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, just that okay middleman who can make things happen.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
Being a DJ, from the initiation, what sparked your interest in becoming a DJ in general?
What sparks my interest? In terms of people or just in general?
Just in general, like what even triggered you to even buy your first record or buy your first piece of equipment?
Do you know what it is? I think what triggered me in general is generally as a person, I'm quite like a hype man, you know, like a man who can't really stay still.
Yeah.
So when I watch things, or when I used to watch like dances, events, whatever it is on TV, because it was so crazy and so diverse, like it didn't even matter what the genre was, whether it was rock or whether it was whatever it was, I was just seeing so many things go on that I just thought, wow, what I can do that and not get in trouble. Because you know them times when you're young, you're just in trouble for everything.
Yeah.
Mum, sit down, don't do nothing, look that way.
Yeah.
It was always that. So when I knew you could do things like dance and throw your hands in the air and you can actually get paid for this, and I just thought, yeah, man, like, you know what it was? When you're young, it seemed quite a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, something that's quite bad is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're young.
Yeah.
So I just thought, yeah, a cool thing that you could get away with. So it was kind of just watching live things, you know, like Ibiza Uncovered and all them kind of, it was that kind of stuff. I just thought it was wild, and I'm wild, yeah.
So, okay.
So, yeah, that's that.
What type of music was you into growing up, and does that have any influence in what you play today?
Are we talking right from the get-go, right from like
from
young?
From day one.
Boy, Caribbean parents. So we're talking like 80s, rare groove, lovers rock, you know, just soul, like real kind of deep soul music. It's parents, isn't it? You know, parents like to have their little what do they call it? Like dub music, innit? Back in the day.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always like kind of Motown-ish, just dub, just soulful music. You know what I mean? It was, that was the influence, yeah, definitely.
Okay. How would you describe the sound you play today?
How would I describe? That's a good question, man. How would I describe the sound? Well, obviously, moving on now, the sound's Amma in it, so, or Amma piano, whichever. There's so many.
No, I wouldn't say the genre. I'd more like be like, just
in,
say what? Is he bubbly? Is he deep? Is he dark?
Oh, okay. Nah, man, I think I'm more like I've always been soulful, man. I've always been, you know, I'm always how can I describe me? I'm bubbly in it, so it's happy music, man. I'm happy.
Simple.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. I'd say whichever it is, whatever genre it is, it's happy. It has to be happy. I can't really go too dark. It sends me a bit mad, and then I start thinking I'm dark and it's long. So it has to be kind of flowery for me.
That was funny.
It sounds mad. Hey, let me come back on that one. Not flowery, happy. Just happy. Yeah.
That was wicked.
Now I come back there. Yeah.
You know, you probably asked this one a million times, but your DJ name, how did you come about this name? Like,
This
how
is
did
mad.
you come?
I
get
try and make
Petchy?
it as short as I can. Yeah. I got my first booking when I was 16. Yeah.
Okay.
It was on a rave called Boat Baku. And that was on, you know, the boats on the embankment.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's quite big for a first booking.
That's what I'm saying. No, but it's only because my cousin,
Okay.
my older cousin Kevin, he was into promotions before.
Yeah.
Big promotions. Was it Hyperdelic or Funkadelic? Hyperdelic, I think. So this is all with like Lloyd Life and like the Jazzy Jeff, like big, like
the big people them
big
rave.
people.
Yeah, I know them.
And it was his kind of party.
Yep.
So and obviously I was playing from young, and I was quite from young, you know, like you can either go one way or the other. You're either really shy, or you're really like, you just need to put me on a straitjacket because I just want to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was that one.
Okay.
So I'm like, what, can I come?
Yeah.
No, you're 16. What can I play? No. Can I do this? No. And then I was on him so much that he said, look, it was a daytime party. It started at 3. And he said, yeah, you can come if you come with my mum. So I went with my mum and my aunt.
Yeah.
And he's let me like kind of do the first thing. And these times I was playing garage.
Okay.
An old school garage. And so I played, and I was, who was I playing with at that time? You know Hyper from MC Hyper?
From Nasty Crew.
Yeah, from Nasty, yeah.
Okay.
Hyper was actually hosting
Okay.
at that point. So I'm DJing with Hyper,
Yeah.
right? And these times I'm just thinking, rah, like, I'm on a boat, I'm playing, like, I'm just like, nothing mattered. You know what I mean? For all I know, I could have been clanging. But you know, when you're young, they just give you the benefit of the doubt.
That's
And
it.
yeah, so I was doing that one. And then there was a woman on the boat from Berlin. I can't even remember her name, but she was a promoter. Some mad kind of evangelistic looking crazy thing. So she's there and she's watching me, and I'm just thinking I'm EZ, and like everything's going on. And then in the end of it, she's gone to my mum and she said like, oh, I hear me DJs, and I'm like, you know, da-da-da-da. So I'm just like, right, mum, who's that? She's like, oh, I don't know. So some woman wants to talk to me. Ended up being a promoter. She's asking me what's his name. So, oh yeah, she's asking me what's my name. So Clinton Pharaoh. So my surname is Pharaoh. So she kept saying, oh, Pharaoh, oh, blah, blah, blah. So she was just talking a bag of nonsense as far as I know, yeah? But all I remember her saying is Pharaoh, Pharaoh, Pharaoh. And then she said, Petchy. And I thought, what? And you know, these times I had some mad name, like, you know, when you're young, you just find these crazy names like Daggedy or some kind of just anything that your friend picks up, and you're on that one. So I had some mad name. So she's like, Petchy. So my mum's like, oh, what are you saying? So there's some meaning behind the word Petchy, which is linked to something in Egyptian. My name being Pharaoh, Egyptian. And then she said something like king, something to do with kings. So I just thought, rah, DJ King, that must be me. Remember, when I'm young, that I'm bossy when I'm young.
Of course.
So if you give me an inch, forget about it. Yeah. So I just kind of run with that. I'm like, what, DJ King? Yeah, I like that one. I just flipped onto that, and then it just kind of just sat with me. It just kind of worked. So yeah, so just from then. For all I know, she could be lying, where it could have nothing to do with King. but
it inspired you.
Yeah, it just inspired me, so I just run with it.
All right, cool. You know what? Tell me, your top 5 DJs of all time. Who would they be? Any genre?
Top 5 DJs of all time, any
All
genre.
time.
Oh boy, you kill me there, Dad, you know. EZ. You can't not have EZ, man. No, regardless of it, you can't not have EZ. EZ. I want to try and get outside the house. Sometimes you just can't, though, can you? EZ, Jamie Jones, Dennis Ferreira. Dennis Ferreira. Martinez brothers. Wow, I nearly slipped them. And boy, I'm struggling to find the last one, boy.
I would say then to make it easier, who from London is really catching your eye, like on the underground scene, maybe?
Now, or just in general?
Yeah.
Just from
Who stood out other than yourself? Who have you been like, yeah,
from London.
I really like this DJ.
God, this sounds so rude, boy, that I can't even think. From London, who stood out from
UK
Gator?
could be within the community circle. I feel like who from
are
the
we
scene?
talking like? See, 'cause I'm quite deep when I think about these things. Are we talking like a DJ's DJ or?
Yeah, someone within the community, so someone at touching distance.
God, it's mad, you know. I tell you someone who's inspired me, who actually kind of made me want to DJ, if I'll be honest.
Okay.
This is gonna sound so mad and random, but Mac 10. That sounds random, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't, because I used to listen to them as a teenager.
Mac, but
Nasty Crew, Mac
Yeah.
10, and when we said Hyper, I was like, instantly from Nasty Crew.
Yeah.
Because then that means I know Mac 10, so I can respect that answer.
yeah. So I'll tell you why Mac, right? So me and Mac went to the same school.
Okay.
And we're from the same area.
Okay.
So when I say this guy inspired me, I'm not even talking about Mac 10. I'm talking about Naf Ramsey. That's how back I'm going.
Yeah.
So Naf was like the only DJ in our school.
Okay.
So you can imagine the whole school's looking at this guy. And these are the times when you're just starting DJing and you're on sound labs, belt drives.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
for them ones who know, boy, if you know, you know, innit? That's how you know you're a DJ, yeah? So I'm talking from them days when I didn't even know what Techniques was. So if you put me onto a Technique deck, like on a sound lab, I thought I was EZ. On Techniques, I couldn't DJ at all.
Yeah.
I you know what I'm saying? And this guy was handling Techniques like it was, I can't even tell you, but it was naff for me. Back then he was doing tricks and trades, what made me think, wow. He actually made me want to DJ, I'll be honest. Yeah, so I don't know how I could forget him, but yeah.
Cool.
Naff, man.
What's been your best moment as a DJ so far?
Best moment as a DJ. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say this one, but again, being a rebel, we're just gonna run with it, yeah?
I think I know what he's going to say, because I think I was there.
So yeah,
And I ain't gonna lie, that was the best moment I had in a long time. But this ain't my story.
well, it was that one. It was that one.
Over to you.
It was that one. Am I
What's your
allowed
best
to say it?
moment? Yeah.
Yeah, of course I can. So, obviously, we were locked down last year. Oh, boy, 2 years ago. Oh, boy. That's how long ago it was. So, we were locked down 2020. Boy, someone threw a little something in the woods. And that for me was just, that was it. You know, like the whole of my 27 years, you know when you just have a moment where you look around and you think, this is magic. You know what? It was actually that made me think, as a movement, our scene, we could take this like above and beyond the stars. It sounds so crazy to think something like that can make you feel like that, but because it was so random, but it was so touching for everyone. Do you know what I mean? There was so much people there. People like, even up to now, when I talk about it, people are like, yeah, man, yeah, I was there. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean you was there? You know, like, it was like that. And when I looked around and I thought, but everything they tried to say about our thing, it's this and it's that and labeling it and we can't do this and we can't do that. And in a time like that, where we all just got together and we danced until the sky was blue again, that was it for me.
I'm just going to go unprofessionally off record and spend 2 minutes telling you about my experience as a customer to, I don't know whose event it was, yeah, but somebody threw this party in the woods, yeah, and all I know was it was old school. It went back to like a text message,
Yeah.
and you gotta like wait for the message, and like you hear about these things when people used to go to the phone box back a day, way before my time, yeah. But yeah, you had to get like a text message, and yeah, you wait for the details. And all I remember that night, yeah, the details was meant to come to you by like 8 o'clock. By about 11:30, we're still at our yards waiting for the text message, and everybody's like, "Is this thing even happening? Is it real? Is it fake?" But you know what it was? Because it was lockdown. Ask me what else you was going to that day. Like you was holding on to this text with their faith because you have not partied for about 2 months properly. So you know what, you thought this was the light. Like, look, long story short. So the text come true. Everyone got the phone call about midnight talking about locations revealed. Listen, we went to this location off ends, and all I can say was, it was about a 15-minute bop down this farmland type of walking path,
But it was exciting though,
It was very fucking exciting, I live near marshes, so I felt comfortable with the surroundings because I live near marshes. This is normal to me. So I'm walking through this thing, and all I remember was there were these fucking glow sticks on the floor telling man where to go. From there, I was
shouts out
sold.
to someone's little son, someone's little son who gave that idea.
Someone's little son.
Yeah, shouts out
is
to them.
amazing. You see with the glow sticks, I said production levels, They put effort into like finer details. Like this is like wedding stuff. This is like wedding stuff. Like I can trust these people. I felt so like, they got glow sticks. Listen, and we got to the location, long story short, got to the location. You know, you can see like the lights, like the little tea lights all over the trees and stuff. That's what made me know, this was not no ghetto backdoor event. This was actually well articulated. When it's a free event, you never know about the crowd that's gonna come, but everybody still behaved themselves regardless. That was a type of event where there was riffraffs, there was posh heads, there was bloody hippies, there was everybody was there, and everybody was there for the same purpose, to have a little piece of freedom that night. Man. So that's where that event was absolutely special. So I don't know who I got to give props to for that event, but tell whoever you speak to, man, tell him he well done.
Tell
he,
that guy.
She, they, them,
Whatever.
Well done. All right,
big up them. You know what I mean?
Wicked. All right. Final question would be, I've got 2 questions. What's been one of your biggest struggles as a DJ or hurdles?
Struggles or hurdles as a DJ? If I be ultra honest, biggest struggles or hurdles has been kind of staying consistent. And you know what I mean by that, Dad, because you have moments where you think, this is me. And then you have other moments where all of a sudden it's changed and you don't know where you are. And then with that moment, in comes life and babies and where am I getting money from? And you know, all of them things start coming into play. So again, you're just lost. So it's just trying to stay, I guess trying to stay consistent and on par with what you think people want.
I respect that. As a DJ, what would you want your lasting legacy to be like? How would you want people to remember you? If you could, leave any impression on the scene, what would you want that to be?
Just a guy that brings people, just a guy that brought people together. That is it. Just the happy guy who brought everyone together. When there was a problem, when he was involved, there never was a problem. I'd like to be known as just the cement. The actual he was the cement. Like when it came to it, he just made it happen. So whenever there was a problem, there wasn't really a problem. Do you understand? It was just meet here and let's just be happy. Even if it's for 6 hours, 6 hours can change someone's life.
Absolutely.
As we know, with
real life,
that place. Do you know what I mean? So, man, I would just want to be known as one of the ones that, that put it together and done it good. Yeah.
Totally. Petchy, it's been a pleasure.
Always, brother.
Coming down.
Always, man.
House Entertainment Sessions. We're signing out.
Wicked.